I'm good, I'm great. No, it's been a while, now I'm mixing up the drink. I just need a girl who will really understand. I just need a girl who will really understand. Yo, The Weeknd, Starboy, album review, let's get it. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Perrier back with another album review. This time I'm reviewing The Weeknd, Starboy album review. Let's go, let's get it, let's get to it. Now, I've been anticipating this album. If you guys recall, and if you guys don't, I'm gonna leave a link to the description in the video right down there for The Weeknd Starboy track review that I did a while back. So if you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check it out. I'll leave a link in the description. Let's get to it though. He released his album just recently, back on Friday, and one thing you'll notice getting into it, if you bought the album, if you streamed it, this cat released 18 tracks. Now, how I feel about lengthy album projects like that is that this is about to be a long, drawn-out album, and I don't know if I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get through all of it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm going to give this a thorough review, but I think a lot of times 18 tracks is daunting on an individual, on a user, and sometimes they may feel like, damn, it's going to be a lot of filler, it's going to be a lot of tracks that you may have to skip through, but me playing this album for the time that I've played it for, it actually works. It means that The Weeknd released an 18-track album of pure fire. Pure fire. Now, it's amazing to me because, again, it's a very lengthy album, but he pulled it off. The producers that are on this project, they all pulled it off and in a very major way. Now, he has a whole bunch of jams on this album. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, it's one of those albums, and I don't say this a lot, that you can play this from top to bottom, and you may not be disappointed, top to bottom. All right, so I'm just saying that off the rip. If you're an R&B lover, if you're a lover of music in general, it's going to be very hard pressed for you to find this project not all the way delivering in that category. Now, don't get me wrong, he does have some missteps, which I'll get into, but they're few and far between, and that in itself is an accomplishment. So let's get to it. I want to start off a few of the stuff that I didn't quite like all the way, maybe a few of his missteps, and it will be short, but I think for me, some of the tracks that I wasn't feeling too much, one of them was Rockin'. Rockin' was, and again, Rockin' is starting to grow on me too. It's hard for me to say that he had many missteps on this album because he really did not. Now on the track Rockin', again, it's a very throwback feel kind of track. It's good, it's vibey. I'm beginning to like it. And this is what I'm considering one of his missteps. That's how good this album is. And I'm not even a fanboy like that. Like of The Weeknd. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't follow his mixtapes. I didn't mess with all of his stuff. And I feel like in his commercial releases, I kind of, went back. I was like, but he delivered on this album. He had another track, and again, this is just an interlude. It's called Star Girl. He had a female, vocalist on the track, just kind of saying some stuff in the beginning. Didn't do a whole lot for me. They didn't set the mood for me. Obviously, it's an interlude, so we can't really say too much about it. But again, not a lot of missteps on this album. Just looking at it right now, I'm literally just looking out the track list, and I'm just like, damn, I like this one. I like that one. I like this one. Damn, this one is a banger. It's just hard. But one thing I will say, and again, this is going back to some of his not so good material on the album. And again, this is something that's I'm kind of growing. It's kind of growing on me. He had a track called Sidewalks with Kendrick Lamar. I know this track will be big just because of the two names on the track, obviously. But it didn't grow on me initially. I was like, I think it was more so the production. It didn't captivate me off the rip. I think Kendrick's his bars towards the end were just flawless. It was great. It was excellent. But listening to the words, he's just speaking about his haters, basically the people that doubted him, the people that just kind of where he came from. And when you listen to a lot of lyrics on this track, I think that's why I can't say too much about his missteps. When you listen to the lyrics, they're very captivating. They kind of paint that story that this is where I came from. This is what it is, and I like the story that he paints with that track. He does a phenomenal job on that track. Going back to it, I played it a few times throughout the weekend, and I just you gotta understand that it's gonna be a major track at this point. It's a very good cohesive track, and that's that. He had so many good tracks on this album. I don't even know where to begin. Obviously, his title track, Starboy, which was released as a single first. I loved it from the get jump. Again, I mentioned that earlier in this video. Another one of my favorite tracks on this project was Party Monster. Party Monster is one of those tracks that I've heard. I fucking love it. Like, you hear this shit, it just sets the mood. It's just like, yo, I'm good, I'm great. No, it's been a while that I'm mixing up the drink. I don't even know if I said the lyrics correctly that time, but yo, when I hear it, it's like it's over. It's a rap. It's a rap. And again, it's just, that's the vibe that I get. And just to give you an overall picture again of the album, he goes for that trap R&B sound that you hear today, but he goes for his own sound, and you gotta respect him for that, yo. It has its own cohesive sound. It has a lot of throwback sound, and it's similar to a way to Bruno Mars's album, 24 Karat Magic. He has that throwback sound, but Bruno Mars he went all the way with that. I might cover that in another review, so stay tuned for that. But Weeknd has his own sound on this. He kind of delivers it. Nobody else is doing kind of the sound that he's doing. And it's just evident. He has the next follow-up track off that third track, False Alarm. It's a dope track. It's a very pop track, but it's so frantic. It's so energetic. Now, just to kind of paint the picture, my favorite tracks right now are Starboy, Party Monster, False Alarm, Secrets. True Colors I felt like it was a misstep, but now that's growing on me. 6 Feet Under, again, one of my favorites. I think I may have mentioned this in the beginning of the video. Dope track. He killed it with Future. He doesn't have a lot of features actually on this album. For the length of this album, he doesn't have a whole lot of features. He has Kendrick Lamar. He has the Future. He has Lana Del Rey. And he has, of course, Daft Punk, who produced 2 of his tracks. And it just works perfectly. It just kind of showcases that The Weeknd can handle it all on his own. And I think we know that about The Weeknd. He kills it. I think another track that was a sleeper that I didn't know was so good until later on was A Lonely Night. He absolutely killed it. I think this is beginning to be one of my favorite tracks on this project. I heard this I was at the gym, and I just heard it. I really listened this time, and wow. I was like, wow. So it just kind of paints the picture that The Weeknd came hard on this track, on this album, and you gotta really appreciate that he really delivered on this album, all the way top to bottom. For the length this album is, 18 tracks, and I keep on stressing it to help you guys understand that that's a hard accomplishment for an artist to do. To release an 18-track album and to have nothing but pure flames is hard. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys' favorite tracks were. Again, I told you what mine were. Again, Ordinary Life was a very good one to me. He has the other Future track, which is All I Know. On that track, he actually let Future kind of just go all the way. On the second half of this track, it was just all Future, and it worked. So, you guys let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe. Once again, appreciate you guys checking out my video. Hey, see you on the next one. Peace.